One of the biggest topics that comes up during my initial buyer consultations has nothing to do with the market or home prices. It's expectations. When you combine today's interest rates, insurance costs, home prices, and rental income, we usually end up having to do a little myth busting. The biggest myth I find myself busting is this: beach houses pay for themselves. The reality is, that's simply not often true. Hey everyone, it's Danielle Taylor with Keller Williams Realty here on the beautiful Outer Banks. And today's myth buster is that at least not on the surface do these homes actually pay for themselves. Could they generate great rental income? Absolutely. Can it appreciate over time? Absolutely. Are there potential tax advantages? There absolutely can be. But for most buyers today, purchasing an Outer Banks home isn't about creating instant cash flow. So naturally, the next question that I get is, well then who the heck is actually buying homes in the Outer Banks today? After sitting across the table from hundreds of buyers, I've noticed something really interesting. Almost every buyer I meet falls into one of four categories. And once I understand which group they belong to, it completely changes how we search for their home. The first group is what I like to call the lifestyle buyer. They're buying memories first, they're buying real estate second. These are the people who have been vacationing on the Outer Banks for years. Maybe they got engaged here. Maybe their kids grew up coming here every summer. Maybe they've simply just dreamed about having a place at the beach. They're not just buying a house, they're buying family memories. Morning walks on the beach, sunset dinners, fishing with grandkids, a place where everyone comes together year after year. Now, don't get me wrong, they absolutely care about the financial side. These are smart, educated buyers, but lifestyle comes first. Their biggest question isn't how much will it appreciate or how much is it giving me in cash flow? It's can we picture ourselves here? For this buyer, location is everything. They care about the neighborhood, the beach access, proximity to the sound potentially. If they're bikers or boaters, whatever they need to fit their lifestyle, the lifestyle they've dreamed of, that's what they prefer. They also tend to prefer move-in ready. When they're here, they want to be spending time making memories, not fixing their homes or updating them. The second group that I work with, and this tends to be most of the people I work with, they are what I like to call the lifestyle investor. They're buying enjoyment today and building wealth over time. Notice I didn't just say investor. That's because these buyers aren't chasing cash flow alone. They're buying a home they'll enjoy personally while allowing vacation rentals to help offset the cost of ownership. 5 years ago, buyers in this group would usually ask me, how much does it rent for? But today's buyers are asking much better questions. What's the actual rental history? Is there room to improve that income? How are insurance costs factoring in? How old are the main systems in the home? What kind of maintenance should I expect? They're looking beyond the rental projections because they're making a long-term investment decision. They're combining lifestyle with smart investing, and they're thinking about portfolio diversification, long-term appreciation, and owning an asset that they genuinely get to enjoy. This group loves opportunity. They'll often take on cosmetic improvements if it can increase rental performance, but they're much less interested in homes that need major mechanical repairs or extensive deferred maintenance repairs. The third group is what I like to call the future retiree. They're buying tomorrow's lifestyle at today's market prices. These buyers usually are 5 to 10 years away from retirement, but they don't want to wait. They've worked really hard and they know that they want to spend the next chapter of their lives at the beach. And they're saying, let's buy now while we can, and then we'll rent maybe for a few years and then long-term will enjoy either full-time, more time, extended stays. They're planning ahead. They're focused on buying well in today's market, finding the right floor plan for future living, and choosing a neighborhood that will fit their full-time lifestyle when retirement finally arrives. The fourth group is the full-time resident. They're buying a completely different way of life. These buyers are making the Outer Banks their home. Some work remotely, some are relocating for family. Others have simply decided that they're ready to trade traffic and stress in the big city for our salt air and slower pace of life. Unlike many buyers during the pandemic, today's full-time residents are incredibly intentional. They're researching schools if it's important to them, flood zones, insurance, internet, potential healthcare needs, neighborhoods. They're making sure this community fits their life, not just their budget. This group is looking for something a little different. They want community. They want their forever home. They're often more willing to personalize a property over time because they're planning to stay. This is for them. So the big takeaway from all of this is, what do all four of these groups have in common? None of them are asking, can I afford this? They're asking, is this the right property for me to meet my goals? And I think that's one of the biggest changes we've seen in today's market. Today's buyers are looking for us to give them confidence. Confidence that they're paying a fair price, confidence that they understand the true cost of ownership, and confidence that the home fits their long-term goals and needs. Whether that's family memories, rental income, retirement, or building a new life here. That's why buyers are asking more questions, doing more research, and taking a little more time before making a decision. In my opinion, our average days on market hasn't increased because people stopped wanting to own Outer Banks property. It's increased because today's buyers are making thoughtful, informed decisions. And personally, I think that's the sign of a really healthy and sustainable market. So if you're wondering who's actually buying in the Outer Banks today, the answer is lots of people. They're just buying with purpose. If you're thinking of buying or selling here, then one of the most important things you can do is figure out which one of these four buyers sound like you, because once you know your why, every other decision becomes a lot easier. If you found this information helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you'd like the video and subscribe, and please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, if you know or think you know which one of these four groups you fit into, drop it in the comments, and we will see you next time.